Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are kicking off with our first actual session of our new campaign playing 4th edition Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, published by Cubicle 7. And this, for those who are unfamiliar, this is probably one of the oldest dark fantasy role-playing games, if not the oldest specifically dark fantasy games published. And this represents the most recent edition. If you want to see the character creation session, you can find that in the list. Not right now, but once the stream finishes, you will be able to find that. So if you want to see how these 3 misanthropes came together, you can see that. Otherwise, we're going to be diving into some dark fantasy adventure this evening. And the stars of tonight's session are 2 regular stalwarts and 1 new face, although the only faces I can see right now are Dave's and mine. I'll go in the order that you guys logged on. If you tell us who you are and who you're playing. So starting off, Jeff.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm going to be playing Verner. Let me open his character sheet. Who is a river warden, or he was a river warden. I don't know if that will continue.
We will have
he's human, and we don't really know a lot about him right now.
Okay, and next up is Greg.
Hi everyone, I'm Greg. I'm playing a human flagetant, and we're going to discover that together, I guess. What that entails.
You know, hold on, I'm gonna. So Verner doesn't have a picture just yet, but Harry does, which I'll put underneath your picture there. And last but not least is Dave.
Hey everybody, long time no see. It's been 2 days since our last gaming session. Today I am playing Hari Radar, a protagonist, not to be confused with the hero of the story, though he may turn out to be that. And in the movie version, he is played by Alex Ponovic, actor from Winnipeg.
Nice, which is the hometown of at least 2 of us. Okay, so the session will open, guys. So one thing I'll say as well is that this is our first time. This is my first time running this version of the game. This is our first time playing this version. So there's going to be probably a lot of stopping to look up rules, particularly with respect to the expendable resources, because I was reading over last night Fortune and Fate and Resolve and whatever the other one's called, and I sort of remember what they can be used for and not, but so I imagine we're going to have to look up what is it? Resolve and Resilience. So Fate and Resilience are the 2 resources that don't come back on, in a short-term basis, and Resolve and Fortune are the ones that do. One thing I did notice, though, is that getting your Resolve back involves playing up your motivation. And I just want to remind you guys that one of the things during play, whenever you feel that you have done that, whenever you feel like you've acted in accordance with your motivation, you ask me if you can get a Resolve point back.
Okay.
So that way it puts it on you guys to try and ask for that stuff. That's actually a fucking great way of setting it up. And I think I'm going to steal that idea for pretty much any other game that I run with expendable resources like that, because I always forget to give, it's usually if I really laugh my ass off at something, then I'll give points out, but otherwise I'll forget. So, okay. So then our scene will open, guys. Our adventure or our campaign takes place in the Empire, in the province of Reichland. Now I'm going to get a better map of this a little later. So I've unfortunately, outsized your tokens. And I'm just going to quickly rename yours there, Dave. Let's see here. Boom. All right. It's in the province of Reichland, and you guys, our scene will open with you guys traveling, or rather, it's what we see is this almost. First off, we hear, I guess, we start in blackness, and then we hear this peal of lightning, or peal of thunder, and a flash of lightning. And what we can see is this almost completely blackened forest. And next to the forest itself seems to grow, out in every direction. It's this thick mixture of coniferous and deciduous trees. This is the kind of like primordial medieval forest where there's almost no trace of civilization that can be seen. I shouldn't say almost. There is no trace. The only thing that seems to, disturb this unending canopy of dark green trees or overgrowth is this winding kind of it looks like a scar, to be honest, with the flash of lightning. You see the darkness in it. But as we get in a little closer, what we can see is it is this roiling and tempestuous river that cuts its way through this thick forest. And even to the casual observer, you would think that to brave the river in the condition that it's in would be sheer lunacy. However, it does appear that there are a trio of seafarers who would match that level of or necessary level of lunacy. Because what we see is struggling against the waves and the wind and the pounding rain are three figures who are trying to navigate a small boat. They're currently struggling. The mast is down. The little, the sail that was on this little small river craft is down. But even the wind is so fierce that even the tiny bit of canvas that is left is just flapping and whipping back and forth. The two figures who are behind the oars, trying to, struggle and fight their way against this massive waves and whatnot that are pounding this tiny craft, are Harry and Gerhart. And then sitting at the back of the craft, navigating the rudder and barking commands over the sound of the pounding rain and the crashing thunder, is Verner. And we can see what Gerhart and Harry look like. What does Werner look like?
Werner is about 6'1". He's 20 years old. He's got golden brown hair, pale gray eyes, and I believe he has a River Warden's uniform. Yes.
Yep. So,
and sort of a leather jack. Like, I'm assuming that's sort of like a leather armor.
Yeah, it's I think it's actually it protects the arms and chest, doesn't it?
It's like a jacket with no ET.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Medieval that's jacket.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Because I think you've already got that on your character sheet, don't you? As well.
Yeah, I have it written down.
Yeah, man, I love the look of these character sheets. They're very fucking cool. Oh, you do not have, at least on the sheet I see, not on your actual. You got, no armor recorded.
No armor value?
Yes. If you scroll down.
Maybe because I didn't know what it was.
Oh, okay. So hold on. Your armor value, your letter jack,
should only
right
be
near the end of the book. Where is it here?
I believe it's 1. That's what I'm wearing.
Is it okay? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought one of you guys had filled out that stuff last time, or at least one of you. Does Gerhart have any armor, or is he just his giant?
I have my large.
So do you just put one on your body on this sheet, or what?
Arms and body at 1.
Okay.
I have a large burlap sack that I'm wearing.
Nice. Oh my god. So and I forgot as well too, Dave, I mentioned this before, but someone commented on the how impressed they were with you wearing your chainmail during character creation too.
Oh, I apologize to everybody out in viewer world. I will wear chainmail at the next session because I'll be at home.
Yes, that's right. You're joining us on vacation. This is the dedication he has to this campaign, is that he is joining us while on vacation. Let's see here. Am I muting? Is that muted? That's muted. Great. Okay, so so this little craft is, up and down, and this river is, it's close to a mile across. Like it's a massive, like Mississippi style, huge river, and this is maybe the worst weather that you have seen, Werner. I think if I remember correctly, like we had sort of set up that you're sort of not the idiot offspring, but like you're like the black sheep of your noble family, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what you guys are on your way to another destination right now. It doesn't really matter where it is specifically for the purpose of tonight, but you're heading somewhere for a job. So, you're quite intent on getting there, which is maybe why you brave this weather. Though you are all, I think, questioning now the wisdom of that, except for maybe Gerhart. Is this sort of Sigmar's will or what?
Well, this seems like much better than I would have expected.
That's...
You mean apocalypse is coming and so forth? So, this is just the beginning stages. It could get much, much worse. In fact, I believe it will be much, much worse.
Is Gerhart calling out prayers as you guys are rowing?
I don't know that it's really worth praying at this point because, our destiny is fixed.
I guess what I mean, not so much like prayers in the sense of like,
I'm reveling in the rain and the thunder and just standing there with my arms outstretched. It is Sigmar's will.
So Gerhart is standing up in the boat. Harry is trying to row the one side. It's basically now arcing towards one of the banks. Verner, what are you doing?
I think he's actually trying to give them instruction on how to operate the boat.
Yeah,
as much as he knows,
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, as you're just to get a sense of how how well we're doing here, why don't you kindly give me a sail? It'll be a challenging sail check. Does anyone else have ranks in sail?
No.
I'm guessing that would be an extra skill, right, in the group?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like a special.
Yeah, it's one of the advanced skills.
Am I supposed to have the career box checked on that? I don't remember. I don't know what the career box does.
I can't.
I just don't have any of them checked, so I don't know.
Oh, I think. Actually, I don't remember, to be honest.
Were they not skills you got from your class rather than skills you picked somewhere else?
Oh, yeah.
Using your alternate points and so.
And I think that the reason the career ones are important is because if I remember correctly, the XP that you invest in those
counts cheaper. That's what right.
It's cheaper and also counts towards you hitting the next tier.
Yes.
Like you qualifying to go on to the next career, you need to spend a certain amount of points in to get advancements in the career-based skills.
Okay, so I'll have to look that up when we advance.
Yeah, that's fine.
Add points.
I'll have
Okay,
to make
so
sure
for now it won't matter.
No. Okay, so then the reason I ask is because if you were trained in it, guys, you can aid, which gives a plus 10% to the test.
I'm trained in intimidate.
We're pretty far away from a positive result.
Oh, so the success, the SL at the bottom there is the success level, which at a negative is not great. So unfortunately, then this is, just to give you a sense, this is not, this is what's called a challenging skill test. So like it's not that you're going to be shit at every one of your skills. It's that this is a particularly difficult, test to make. So you're, rowing against this thing and trying to give instructions. Gerhart is calling out something about the twin-tailed comet. Harry, what are you making of all this?
Well, I'm putting my back into moving this damn boat, and this other guy keeps standing up and yelling about Sigmar, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna yell at the other dude and say,
"What do you say?
Sit your Sigmar loving ass down and row, unless Sigmar's gonna row for you."
Sigmar has destined that we are headed for this shore. It would appear.
Well, we're destined for crashing if you don't start rowing.
But I do sit down and I put my back into it.
Okay. So you guys do, unfortunately, with the amount that the boat has been sort of drifted off, there's a flash of light, and Verner, you try and get a good view of, okay, this is the way to sort of safely navigate. And then there's another, so you're rowing effectively in darkness for a time, and then there's another crash, of lightning above, and you see that you are about to hit this kind of like rocky outcropping. The shore is much closer than what you expected, and you guys, you try to call out to the guys in time. They don't, and I guess maybe you're trying to operate the rudder, and it hits the side, and you kind of, the thing goes up and down. And one of the oars falls overboard, and is lost in the torrent of the waves. And you're now about you're very close to the shore, and you think that you may actually be taking on water at this point.
Oh,
how large is our boat? Like, is it just a dory type boat?
Yeah, like it's this thing is like, it's not just a little rowboat, but I mean, it's not much more than just it's the kind of thing that's really designed to transport people up and down the river rather than like cargo.
Right.
So it's maybe like, I don't know, 12 to 15 feet long.
Perhaps we should wait until the storm abates and just pull the ship up on shore before we lose it. I said that to I said that to Verner. He's obviously the river popo, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't want to get into too much trouble with him.
We can time it that Gerhart has lost his faith in Sigmar in about 10 minutes of play.
Well, I'm more thinking, I know what is coming for me, but these poor unfortunates here, right? They might have a different role to play in there. See where that goes.
Okay. So what do you think, Werner?
Well, you said that maybe I have an appointment that I'm trying to make.
Yeah, you guys, it's still going to be a day or so downriver. It's just that knowing that you need to start making some movement. Like, there is an opportunity that you've heard about, but you do need to get there kind of post haste. This storm did, I mean, in fairness, you're not completely incompetent. Like, this storm did sort of come up out of nowhere, but you did make the decision to keep pushing on. Although, let's see here, what
because I mean, I wouldn't be against stopping if I thought there was danger. Like, I'm not an expert.
Sure. Why don't you give me
boat, so
anybody have ranks in gosh, it wouldn't be outdoor survival. Maybe if you can give me an outdoor survival check, and that'll be easy, I think. So it's plus 20.
I have trained outdoor survival. How do I actually roll it?
I have some outdoor survival as well.
Yeah, so does someone want to assist someone else on that roll?
Sure.
You just click on the number on the right hand column.
Oh, you just click on the number and it rolls?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking, I'm not sure.
And then you'll get plus 30 to your skill for it.
Okay. So I put that in the modifier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, I mean, you think that this stretch of woods, but you guys have judged, like, it's probably safe to stay here, right? I mean,
right. I mean, is the boat small enough that we could portage it?
Not. I mean, between the three of you, maybe like you could probably pick it up and carry it. It's just, you would basically be trying to like find a navigable part of the shore,
right,
to do it. So your rate of travel would be pretty abysmal.
Right. But we have one oar now, so
yeah, there's that too. Yeah. So what are you guys going to do? The boat, you managed to, with your oar, you can kind of like get it close to the shore. What would you like to do?
How deep does the water look on either side of the boat?
Once you get close to shore, you'll be able to, like, it'll be like knee deep.
Oh, okay. So then I'll get out of the boat and drag the boat towards shore.
Sure.
Since I am a large hulking youth.
Okay. So you get out and start pulling this thing over.
I'll help.
Okay. Harry hops out and starts helping. Werner, I take it as the captain of this skiff, as it were. You're letting them do all the work.
Yeah, he's got like a really disappointed look on his face right now.
Yeah. Do any of you guys wear hats or any kind of headgear of any kind?
No. Not unless they make hats out of burlap.
I might be wearing a hat. I'm not sure.
Okay, so your hat is sort of like drooping down, and rain is sort of pouring off of this thing as the ship is pulled ashore. The concern, you don't have to roll for this, but I mean, the concern you have obviously is that the ship might be pulled away in the night. And
okay, yeah,
you know, because it's the river is really fucking moving right now. So the two guys, you know, pull the ship up, so you're able to walk to the front, hop off, and then help them drag it up onto the shore. This stretch here is the shore is it's actually probably pretty high, so it's actually like grass and you know, it's like scrub grass with big tall trees hugging against the edge, because the river is swollen so much with the rainfall that whatever the natural bank would be is probably completely submerged at this point. But yeah, you look around and it does not look like there's really anywhere to, apart from, you know, underneath the trees themselves, there's not really much shelter to be afforded here. So what's your plan here, guys?
Can we get it up on the shore and flip it over and use it for shelter?
Mm-hmm.
Might take a little bit of back work, but
yeah, and I mean, I think that if there's certainly enough trees there, so you could probably find something to sort of to set it up like that and then crawl underneath. Like it's not pleasant.
Top of a lean-to. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Dave?
Use it as like the top part of a lean-to.
Yeah, precisely. So after a little bit of work, you're able to do that. But I mean, by that point, yeah, to be honest, you've been drenched for hours anyway, so it's really not that much of an off-putting thing. But as you guys, what's that?
We're probably exhausted though.
Oh yeah. It's been a long day. So you're all kind of sitting around. It's too wet to start a fire, so I guess like you're just going to sit around and wait till the daylight comes. Is that right, or do you guys have any plan in mind here?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have some survival too. Maybe,
Warden, can you?
I think that maybe we could get the boat, get some shelter under the boat to get a fire going.
I think the difficulty there is, does anyone have like in their gear any kind of like, you know, tinderbox equivalent or anything like that?
Well, even if you did, could you find some dry wood?
That's the thing, like the kindling that you would need to get it going. Everything's gonna be sopping wet at this point.
I'm just gonna huddle under it and be grouchy.
Okay.
All right.
But so about half hour passes. Are you guys the type of characters to be sitting around in silence, or were you guys chatting about something? Are you planning, or
how the hell are we going to use the boat with only one oar?
Well, we could probably hack down a tree and make a pole or something.
River Warden, do you have any experience in making oars?
Well, no, I'm not much of a wood carver, but I'm sure we could rig something up.
I guess the other thing is the concern is that hit that the hull took. You're probably able to take a look at that, and it does look like, I mean, unfortunately, you guys were not flush with cash when you set out on this voyage, and as such, you may have gotten yourself a boat with a few leagues on it. So the body of this thing, like a healthy brand, you know, a newly crafted, I shouldn't say healthy, a newly crafted boat, it would be able to take a hit like that pretty well. But with two strapping, you know, young lads driving this thing along as fast as they could, and then into some kind of underwater, or you can feel up along the hull, you know, so you can picture yourself in the rain feeling along, and there is a hole in it. And it's not big enough that like the boat's going to sink right away, but what it means is that you are going to constantly have to go over. You're either going to find a place to effect repairs, or you're going to have to constantly be, you know, stopping and then like turning the boat over to empty water, or like bailing constantly to prevent it from taking on too much water and sinking.
Do we know how close we are to the nearest town?
You're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Now, there are coach inns that are located up and down the river, but it's. I think that with the roll you guys made, you've sort of lost track of where you are. Werner, you've traveled this river before, so you probably, if you could see what you were, where you were going, and you were able to even just track how long you've been traveling, you may have been able to figure out where you are and how long it is till the next, coach inn. But as it is, it's, no idea. You could start walking, along the bank in the destination direction you were going, and you might make it to one of those inns. But you also could spend, all night walking, and never come across it, and then find in the daylight you find yourself stranded on the shore with your boat, hours back.
Well, I mean, could we not take the boat with us and use it as shelter?
You mean like what, to travel?
Yeah.
I think it's too, like, you guys could try and do kind of a portage thing with it, but it's pretty, like, even a rowboat carrying with two guys would be pretty exhausting, and this is bigger than a rowboat.
Okay.
So I guess, I mean, like, you could absolutely try it. Just going across the uneven terrain in the dark, I would be concerned about turning your ankle or something like that too.
Well, perhaps it's best if we just make camp until the first light, and then it'll be safer to travel.
That, and we might be able to either fashion an oar or fix the boat or something,
right,
if we can see what we're doing.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd have a chance to fix the boat. Even with low skill, we can improve its ability to travel without, going under.
Yeah. And if it's not fixable long term, maybe we can at least get it down to the next place where we can trade it in for, I don't know, a pack mule or something, and take the ground.
A pack mule?
Yeah. Or some supplies or whatever, if depending on what the value of the boat is worth.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys have been sitting in the dark for about, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes at this point. And you're getting used to the sound. There's that constant sound of the rain pounding down, both through sorry, I was just saving something, guys. But there's both the sound of the rain kind of like pattering down on the trees above you. There's the sound of of it hitting the top of your boat. And then there's the ever-present kind of like crash of thunder and the roll of it across the sky. So you've gotten used to that kind of sound, all sitting, your travel cloaks kind of pulled around you, sitting miserable around this, under this overturned boat. And that's when you hear off somewhere not terribly far away, after one of the crashes has subsided and you can just hear the sound of the rain, you hear a sound that's kind of like part bleeding of an animal, like a from somewhere off in the distance. And that's echoed by another one of those cries that's slightly further off from there. Would you give me, Gerhart, another outdoor survival check, and I'll give you another plus 30 because Verner may have something to add to this as well.
Okay.
Oh, a fumbling failure. Oh,
just what we needed when we're about to be attacked.
Absolutely. Fortuitous start, guys. That's great.
Sounds like a cow.
Yeah, Gerhart's like, I think that's a elk. I think that's something we could eat. You're pretty sure it's something you could eat.
It could be dwarves.
Yes. Maybe there's a hunting party out here.
Maybe a mobile boat repair.
Verner, because you succeeded on that too, you're pretty confident that that's actually right.
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to do?
dwarven mobile boat repair. They're going up
really.
and down the river, catching people who have been stranded and fixing their boats for them during the night.
I mean, that's not what I heard, but
I mean, that's I think what you're because you guys worked together to get that fumble. You're both like, oh, it's some kind of deer. It's a it's a stag that's been upset by the weather. Maybe you lost track of the calendar and more sleep. The chaos moon. Maybe that's the thing that's in ascent, because that always pisses off animals. They're always upset about that.
fair.
What do you guys think? That's sort of what your characters. Obviously, that that ain't good. But what do you think your characters are making of this?
I'm convinced they both seem to think it's the same thing.
It doesn't mean that I think we should go get it. Like, I'm not thinking we should go hunt this deer in the middle of this storm.
Oh, nice. Okay, I can actually hold up here, guys. I've got a good.
You're not suggesting that we go hunting at this moment.
Well, I'm getting kind of hungry. So
Here's kind of what the forest would look like, guys. To give you an idea of what the old world forest floors are like.
Not the most hunting friendly looking thing I've seen.
No.
And I mean, I personally am not a hunter.
I'm pretty decent with a bow.
And it's a big difference between being good with a bow and shooting a wild animal and turning it into edible meat.
Fair enough, but I could at least shoot it and you could carve it up.
I'm a river warden, not a butcher.
If you guys are, if you're trained if you have ranks in outdoor survival, I think you would know how to dress an animal, like an animal carcass.
Right.
Like, I can't tell you how to do it, but your character would be in this setting. That would give you'd know how to dress something like a hare or small prey, because you would that's just part of going into the woods. You're not always surviving on what you bring with you.
And there's going to be more meat than we could possibly eat.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine we're going to take it along with us. So whatever's left over will be just left for the denizens of the forest to consume.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I think we should go and see if the dwarves have food that they want to share with us.
The dwarves. That is some terrific commitment to a bit. Awesome. What do you guys think then? What does Harry and Verner think?
Well, I'll go with. I don't really want to. It's kind of wet out there. Why don't you just invite them over?
Exceptionally wet and dark. No one's got a torch, I take it, right?
No.
And maybe have a wet torch.
Okay.
I have knuckle dusters. Does anybody want to punch in the head?
I mean, Werner definitely does not think this is the best idea he's ever heard.
Yeah.
But
okay. So what do you think? I mean, what are you guys going to do? Gerhart does seem intent on doing this.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'll go with you, but this better be quick and get back to this relatively dry spot underneath the leaky boat.
We may find something better, like a cave or a overhang or something. But sitting here, our luck won't change.
Okay. Ooh, bless you, Dave.
Sorry, guys. Excuse me.
Okay. All right. So, I think what will happen? Yeah, geez, that fumble really could not have come at a worse time. Give me one sec here, Jeff. I'm going to just put a placeholder thing in for your image, just so I can use a token.
Oh, sure.
And then when you find something that's that fits better for him, and I'm going to resist using the Thermotrod for it.
What about those bloody-looking zombies that we fought in the Barrow Maze a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, those would be awesome. Okay, let's see here.
For the Wednesday night followers, you could just use Badonk. We're all good with that.
Yeah, really.
I mean, Verner will agree to go and help kill this thing, but he refuses to do any cleaning of the meat.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a bow on me. I can use one, but unless you guys have a bow I can use.
Well, I think the conditions outside, we could probably get reasonably close to the animal so that we could bludgeon it to death with my gigantic flail.
Yum.
That sounds reasonable. Or
And if not, we could run around in the trees yelling. That's always good. I mean,
that's an outstanding approach.
Wetter option than hiding under the boat.
Yeah.
So if there's no animal to be struck down immediately, I'm going back under the boat.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Hat. Where'd he go? We'll change it afterwards, but this will give you the incentive to find your own image. It's because you're a halfling grocer for the time being.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
So you, I'm sorry, did you say Verner was going to go with them, or he's hanging out here?
No, he's agreed to go.
He's agreed to go, but he's not going to. Okay.
He's not going to clean them. He's refusing to clean the meat.
Sure. Would you guys kindly give me a each of you give me a perception. Hold on. Is perception a skill? Second.
Yep.
Yes, great. So everybody give me a perception check here. It's going to be challenging. So no modifiers whatsoever. Okay.
Perception.
So Gerhart is pretty intent on finding that stag that's making all that
I'm
noise.
oblivious. I'm just like
Oh,
going ahead.
my first success of the day.
Verner succeeds. Okay.
Can we just press the button?
Should be able to, yeah.
Not getting button pressage.
Is there something prompting to put modifiers in on the screen itself?
Ah, yes. It was hidden. I hit the button too many times, and it must have brought the sheet back to the top.
Okay. You know what? Give me a second. I'm going to make this map a little bigger because I have
Big map.
Oh, yeah. So one thing that they did say, one positive bit, the hack was not great news for Roll20, but the good news is you can upload audio now. So if you've got audio tracks that you want to put into Roll20, you can do that now.
Like
So,
Take on
cool.
Me by Aha, or like.
Oh, speaking of which, hold on. No, it's Take on Me. Yeah, I mean, if you could, you in theory could.
Okay.
If you were so inclined.
Sung by Harry Roder, Werner, and Gerhart.
Yeah.
Our new barbershop trio.
Yes. If we
Kevin,
survive.
we've decided to not adventure. We're starting a barbershop trio.
Yeah, you know what? Forget this
Yeah.
place we had to go. Let's just start we're the traveling minstrel show.
We didn't like how this first boat trip went. We've decided we are going to be musicians.
Oh, I heard something. Sounded like torrential downpour. Oh man.
There we go.
Getting really wet here, Kev. Can you turn the rain down a bit?
Love it. I love it. So my apologies to those listening at home. We still can't figure out how to get the audio sound on it, but Roll20 has some fucking awesome audio features on it. So the players are getting the full experience. This is where we'll put you guys here. And now let's take a look at your results. So Harry is completely distracted. Gerhart is completely distracted. No doubt a consequence of that failure. Now, what we're going to assume, guys, is basically like the track here, or the path that you guys are traveling on. This is just like the navigable part of this woods. You're sort of like, we're able to find your way through one little bit, and that's sort of where you're going. It's like a game trail. The rest of this map, although it doesn't show on it, is going to be as thickly overgrown and impenetrable as what this photograph is.
Right.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling along on this trail here, so this is, figure this is the front. I've put Verner at the front for some reason. You guys can organize yourself to being who's in front will be on the right, and whoever's at the back on the left. Verner's like, fuck that.
Well, he's reluctantly going, so I don't see him leading the way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Okay. So you guys are making your way along. Harry and Gerhart are talking about the, what they're going to be doing when they get this thing, how they're going to prepare it. Verner, you're being a little more live to what is going on around you. And you're not able to make out what it is, but you do see on your right, there's something big moving in the bushes. And we'll just take a moment to really orient where our characters are right now. So the old world in general is a place that is incredibly dangerous when you are in the cities. It is astonishingly lethal when you are outside in the wilds, which are full of bandits and horrible fucking creatures and the agents of chaos and other awful things that want to kill and eat you.
So what you're saying is we should start making new characters?
In that region, it is now also pitch black. There is pounding rain coming down. You don't know where you are right now. You don't know how to get to where you're trying to get to. And Verner, all of this kind of comes crashing down on you as you get in the realization, like, oh my God, what are we doing?
Yeah, what exactly?
Whatever you spotted there for a moment, Dave, you're about to be ambushed. Look out! There's someone behind you.
Yeah.
That's really creepy. Seeing someone walk into frame like that. So, Verner, whatever it is that you saw there for a moment ago, you get the distinct impression that it does not want you to.
I'm being mugged for my car keys.
Yeah, nice. Give it to him now. Okay, so that's what you see, Verner. What do you do?
He'll be immediately trying to tell everyone, guys, there's something in the woods.
Well, that doesn't look like a dwarf. Maybe we were wrong.
I didn't see it, but it wasn't a dwarf. That's for sure.
A large fat dwarf?
Oh, yeah. A basilisk would be wonderful.
Is dwarf a politically correct term to be using, folks?
I think they call themselves, there is an actual name they have for themselves. I know that was a joke, but I'll take any excuse to jump into
some more world building.
They call themselves Dawi. No, see, I remember I read that in the rule book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they like being called dwarves anymore.
So you're sort of all standing there in this narrow little game path, the rain pounding down.
Well, is Verner pointing to where he saw the creature?
Well, absolutely, he'll point to where he saw it.
Okay.
Well, then we'll sort of head that direction.
Sure. So Harry and Gerhart, it's going to be, stepping your way through this overgrown forest to get in there. Like it's full on bushwhacking. Do you want to? You can go ahead and move yourself off the path if you like a little ways.
So
why don't you give me a? There we go. Give me a Okay. Sorry, I'm just rolling something. Okay. Go ahead and give me perception checks for Gerhart, Harry, and Verner again. And this is an opportunity to talk about contested rolls, where you roll against your challenging difficulty, and then you compare that to what the success level on that to what the opposed roll is.
So it's not so much that you succeed or fail. It has to do with the number of success levels compared to the number of success levels.
That's right. And we just got a fumble from Verner.
Amazing.
Oh, look, mushroom.
What are we rolling again? Sorry.
Perception, please.
Perception again.
It's be another one of these games, Dave, where you've put no points in the thing that we're going to keep using over and over again.
Oh no, I've got perception.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I just can't roll. Can't roll for beans.
Oh, that was that other. What was that game? That was hilarious.
Delta Green.
Delta Green.
Yeah. I'll turn that wind down a bit too. That is getting a little bit pronounced. There we go. Okay, great. All failures. Terrific. So, Gerhart, you're starting to, kind of make your way into these woods. Harry, you're seeing Gerhart do that. What are you doing? You hear him muttering something about dwarves?
I mean, we bought into the fact that that's what we heard, right? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, we failed so epically that we heard something that doesn't resemble anything like what it actually is. So I'm like looking around, sort of pushing my way through. I've got my flail out in front, and I'm like sort of just like knocking things out of the way. But I'm definitely determined on the path that we're taking.
Sure. Now, you failed, but you didn't fail as badly as what is in the woods. Now, something is crashing around, trying to be inconspicuous, and sort of at this moment where the lightning again sort of lights up the sky, you're able to see through the falling rain. There's this enormous hunched figure that looks kind of like a misshapen version of a man with an enormous, like, bull's head. It's big, bulbous, kind of cow eye.
Are we like aware of this creature? Like, I mean, do we know what a Minotaur is?
This is about the same size as a man.
Okay.
And I think with your faith, you know what a thing touched by chaos would be.
Right. Oh,
right.
So this, okay. Yeah.
And this is sort of what you see. But it does not seem like, basically it's as shocked as you are to see you, because it turfed its roll. And I'll just let me get up to the top here.
Well, Sigmar has a solution for beastmen in the forest.
He does.
It's called the Berserk Charge.
Nice. Okay, so this gives us an opportunity to talk about initiative. So initiative in this game, at default, we do not roll it. We just compare your initiative scores. And if you're tied on the initiative scores, then we look at I can't remember what it was to tie. Then it's agility, highest to lowest. And then if the same agility, you make an opposed agility check. So these things, or this thing, his initiative is a 30. Where are you guys in that order?
I have.
Where is it?
It's on your characteristics, like, I think third.
It's the eye.
Is it the eye?
Oh, is it the eye, or is it the INT?
Are there two? No, I think INT is your intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah, Dex, because agility, Dex,
so
intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a straight eye is your initiative, I think. Okay.
So I have 35 eye.
Nice. Okay, so you're acting first. Gerhart, what's yours?
30.
30. What's your agility?
My agility is 33.
33. That means this thing acts before you. But Harry acts before you. Harry, you have not seen this yet. Gerhart, what is your initiative?
Werner?
Or Werner, sorry, yeah.
27.
27. Okay. So then the initiative order is going to be Harry, Beastman, Gerhart, Verner. But right now, Harry and Verner, you don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Both of you turfed your perception checks. To see what's kind of going on, you're going to need to make a successful perception check. I will give you +10 to it because you're going to hear some shit's going to start going on here. So, all right, every round you guys get to make a move and an action, and this thing is going to move in to try, and it's got a move of 4. Goes charging in at you. Put him on the back there. And because he charged, it means he has +1 advantage. Now, I've been trying to figure out how we're going to track this in an easy way, and probably just in the chat is the easiest way.
Right. So that gives him a +10 modifier, right?
Yeah, so he's got the advantage of 1 until he fails. So he's got +10 to his roll now. He makes his roll. What is he carrying here?
Feather. It's a chaotic feather.
Yeah.
So it's a weapon test, him against me, right?
It is, yeah. So this one, I'm just reading what he's armed with here. The character stats for this, or the stat block is not great. It's not the rule book. It's one of the adventures. It's not set out in the most intuitive way, but here we go. Okay, so this thing comes in, and it is carrying probably a really... I'm going to give it a -10 to its roll because it's using a sword in this kind of confined area here. So it takes a swing at you. I miss. So it swings at you. It no longer has advantage. All right, next up is Gerhart. What are you doing?
Okay, well then I spork it with my flail.
Nice. So you can, yeah, I think it's just, there's no modifiers here. The flail, I'll give a -10 as well, just because of the confining, area here. Okay, now, and this is, oh shit, I fucked up one thing already. Because this is an attack, we do attack and defense at the same time.
Right.
Because, so I already forgot that. Right. So why don't you give me your melee check.
That was the one above your no advantage.
Okay. So then...
So I failed by 4 success levels.
Right. And then it says whoever scores the highest SL wins.
Right.
So you don't even actually need to succeed. You just need to do better than your opponent. That's that's crazy. I mean, that's cool because it gives each... you don't have that situation that it has with low percentile where you're like miss. Like I hit. Oh, he succeeded too. Fuck. Right. So actually, he did manage to connect.
Okay.
Because he succeeded more, so his advantage is now 2.
Yep.
My hit location. I rolled a 52, which means he hit 25. Your right arm. Okay. And the damage is plus. Here's the balancing factor. Interesting. You add your success level to the damage, which means that his damage is going to be really low. So his damage is a 7 minus his success level. Success level is -1, which means he only does 6 points of damage.
Okay.
That's kind of cool, actually. So like you can hit, but it's the glancing hit kind of thing. So then what you subtract from that is your toughness bonus and any armor you've got in the area.
Right. Okay, so my toughness is 3.
And I'm going to create bars for you guys equal to your wound points here. Let's see here. Wounds. Boom. Okay.
So I took 3 wounds total, right?
So if you could if you put on your token, I want to make sure that everyone can see your token there. If you just enter 3 and then hit enter, it'll start filling up your bar and it'll track it on your character sheet as well.
Okay. So I click on the token?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and that red thing, let me just make sure everyone can see that. Bar 3. There we go. Can everyone see Gerhart's bar now? It's empty.
It totally empty, yeah.
Okay.
It's empty.
Okay. Oh, how about now?
Yep.
Now you can see the damage?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And there we go. All right. And let me make sure everyone can see yours. Done. Okay, cool. All right, Gerhart. So in this furious clashing of weapons, you get your flail up and you try and batter his sword aside. He kind of hits yours and then brings it down and cuts a gash across your dominant arm. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right. Okay. So your dominant arm is a pretty nasty gash along it. Oh, Harry, you just took all damage. You count up in wounds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I was at 0.
Oh, 0?
Unless you committed seppuku. In which case...
This just looks dire. That's it. I'm done.
All right, so then that was that round. Now it's Gerhart's turn. So now if you're going to melee again, we'll do another contest. I rolled fucking terrible. I got...
But you have a 20 bonus because you have advantage too, right?
Oh, I do, right. So I got a -1 SL.
So I miss.
Okay, so then that means he succeeded. Again, you take this time -1. Yeah, actually 6 again.
So does he only score damage on his turn?
No, on each. Every time. The way it reads is to attack, whoever scores the highest SL wins. If you win the test, you hit your opponent and gain +1 advantage.
Okay.
So holy shit. So you take another, and this one is to your 69. So it'd be to your right leg this time.
Okay. And I took 6 points, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So
and then subtract your toughness bonus in your armor. Wow. All right. So Gerhart's getting banged up a bit by this brutal thing. Harry, you're up next. What are you doing?
I'm going to move in and...
Well, again, you don't know this is happening right now. You need to make a successful perception check to see what's going on.
So you get some kind of a bonus that there's people yelling and screaming?
That's what the +10 is for. Otherwise, it's in pitch blackness, it's in overgrown thicket, and you're relying on... You've got no source of light apart from the
so add a +10?
Yeah, add +10 to your check. We go. Come on, big money. And I'll remind you, you do have... Okay. Now, remember, you have resources you can draw on, guys. These are the things that you can use to mitigate the otherwise shitty results from a very brutal combat system. So you can use fate. You can fate to re-roll a failed test, and you get... Or sorry, you can use fortune for this. Fortune refreshes every session.
Okay.
So fortune is on page 170. Re-roll a failed test. Add +1 SL to a test after it's rolled, or choose when you want to act in initiative order. Resolve allows you to ignore critical hits, remove 1 condition, and then you can burn stuff to not die. You can burn stuff to automatically succeed.
So I don't know if I did this right. I'm showing I have 2 fate and 0 fortune and 4 resilience and 0 resolve.
That is not right. You should have your start of your session. Your fortune should equal your fate, and your resolve should equal your resilience.
Okay, maybe that was just something I didn't really understand. Okay, so I could use fortune points to re-roll.
Yeah,
or I could use resolve to.
Sure. Now, before we do that, I just want to give Greg a chance. Did you want to try? Would you have spent fortune to try and re-roll that second one?
No.
No. Okay. All right, then, Harry. So you did fail. You failed by -3 though. So spending a fortune point to get 1 SL is not going to make a difference on that. But you could spend a fortune to re-roll if you wanted.
To re-roll.
Yeah.
And tempt the fates once more.
Yeah.
All right, perception. Let's spend a fortune. That's
okay.
This is costing me a fortune, damn it.
It is costing you a fortune, literally. Nice. Hang on. I'm going to guess that's not the last time we're going to hear that.
Nope. Probably not.
But it was a fortune well spent. So yeah, that's going to be a free action. You're just looking around and you see there's this flash, and like Gerhart's a big guy, but there is an equally bigger shaggy form in there. And because you got +2 success levels on that, I'm actually going to show you where the other one is.
Oh, there's another.
There's another one that's slowly making its way towards where Gerhart is.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try. Do I also notice that Gerhart looks like he's taking a smack or two?
Yeah, I think you see that he's staggering back.
Okay.
You also hear off in the direction Like, this is what got you looking in the first place. That same bleeding kind of like, screech or whatever from this bleat, I guess, from this thing. So you now realize, oh, it's not a fucking elk. It's not dwarves. It's these things.
Okay. Some kind of chaos monster creature.
Yeah.
All right.
So what would you
then,
like to
then I
do?
have a move and an attack.
You do a move and an action. Yeah.
Move and an action. Can I move my token through the grass and line them up right there and smacky smacky? All right. Cudgel looks like the weapon of my choice normally.
Okay. So you go racing into this thing. Now, I think there's a modifier because there's more than one. So if you engaged, okay, if you outnumber it 3-1, you get plus 40. If you, let's see here, outnumber 2-1, you get plus 20 to your checks now, guys.
Yeah.
So because of the foliage and whatnot, and overgrowth, I'm gonna reduce that to +1, or +10 rather. So you get +10 to your roll. I'll make my roll. You make your roll. Let's see what happens.
So add 10.
Yep.
And then hit submit.
Yeah, I got a -1 SL. Fuck yes, +2. 3. Holy shit! Nice hit. All right. So squarely in the body in this thing, you got +3 success level. You do 10 points of damage to this thing. Whew. So yeah. So from that 10, I get to reduce.
And it wipes out his advantage, right?
And it wipes out the advantage, exactly. Now, Harry, you've got one advantage. So
nice.
Let's see here. That's 1. What is that? 1, 2, +4, 6. Okay, so yeah, wow. I'm gonna add a little bar onto these dudes as well, just for the folks listening at home, and so that I can track it as well. Oops. That's not right.
And I shout for Verner. There's monsters. Come help us.
Okay, so you hit this thing square in the chest, and it bleats in pain, and you now have +0. What the advantage does, Dave, is you get +10 on your next attack. And then you can keep, if you get advantage again, that means 2 points of advantage +20 on your attack. Okay. The next up is Verner. So you've seen Harry run in there. He's screaming. You've heard the shouting. Why don't you give me a perception check? Let's see if you can see what's going on in that in those woods.
And what do I have? +10 for a modifier?
+10 for a modifier. That's right.
Nope.
Fumble failure. Now, did you again? You've got fortune. You could re-roll. You're at -2, so buying a success level wouldn't be good value for it. Do you want to?
Might as well re-roll. Sure.
Okay, here we go.
Fortune.
Wait, we get this. We get fortune back later, right?
Yes, fortune back every session. You refresh your fortune.
Okay.
And it favors the bold, so use it.
Yeah.
Boldly. Boldly.
Nice. So you see exactly what I described. You can see those two. You see the Beastman that Gerhart and Harry are engaged with, and you see another one that's starting to make its way towards them. So and now you get your full action. You can move and you can attack, or you can move and take an action. What do you want to do?
Let's see here. Yeah, how far can? Oh, it's just sort of abstracted movement right now.
Yeah, we'll just use the abstracted stuff for now, and that's in no way because I can't find the chart that has the movement rate on it. To suggest otherwise is foolish, guys. Come on.
Okay. What kind of a weapon do I have?
Oh, I found it.
Sword.
Okay, so you guys can walk at 8 or run at 16. That's yards. That's how much you can move in combat. I know I've got no scale on here right now, so that's not helpful.
So what do I use to attack? Have melee basic?
You use melee basic, yes. Now, what are you attacking? Oh, now you're 3-1, which means I think you get +30. No, +40.
Oh, here, I have a sword. I added it last time.
Okay. So plus 40 to your
Plus
roll.
40? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
because you guys outnumber. No, and I rolled holy shit. I rolled a success level of -5.
Oh, this guy's gonna be hurting because Verner just rolled a +4.
Yeah, so it doesn't. So he tries to attack and completely, he's just completely overwhelmed by you guys. That's 11 points of damage to his left leg. Wow.
Nice.
Eviscerated.
All right. So 11 minus his toughness bonus and his armor leaves. Wow. Jeez. That is a lot. So you hack at his leg. He bleats out, kind of staggers back, limping on that left leg quite heavily. We are now at the top of the round again, and I believe it is Beastman Town. What is Harry's initiative again?
Mine was 35.
35, right. Oh, yeah, right. So Harry's up first. So it was Harry, that's right, Harry, Beastman, Gerhart, Verner. So Harry, you are up now. What are you doing?
I'm going to smash this guy again and plus 40, but I also have advantage.
Plus 40, and you've got 20 points of advantage, but there's still the -10 because of the, the overgrowth and whatnot. So it's a net of plus 50 to your roll or to your skill. I actually rolled a success. I got SL1.
I got an SL2.
2, so you succeed. All right, so bam, in the right arm. This guy's getting battered left, right, and center. 9 points of damage. Holy shit. He is quite badly hurt right now. I'm going to move him down so I can see his bar. Oh, my goodness. He is regretting having engaged you guys. So let's see here. There's 3 of you here. I think, Harry, you've been causing him the most strife, so he's going to try and attack you. You do get to include your advantage is now a 30.
Okay.
Okay, so add...
so I'm rolling my melee attack again?
Yep, and hold on here. And you're outnumbering him...
3 to 1?
Yeah, so you get to add that plus 40 as well.
So plus, and then -10 for the weather?
Yeah. Guys, this is a good opportunity to remember just how punishing being outnumbered is in future encounters, because this is crazy.
Okay, so 40 for the outnumbered, plus 20 total, so plus 60.
Yeah, plus 60. Okay, and he's got -10 to his. I got, oh god, SL -5.
That's not so good.
And you got what, SL1? Is that your roll there?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so once again, you clash together. Your sword batters his big sword aside. Oh, you got a cudgel, you said, right?
Yeah.
So he swings at you, you batter it to the side, and then you hit him in his left arm. So you see an opening and whack right in that arm. And I believe we're about to learn about critical hits, guys.
Is that because of the difference in my attack and his attack?
Well, no, because he, that's a good question, though. No, if you roll a crit, so if you roll doubles and you succeed, that's a critical hit. But also, when you exceed his wounds, you immediately get to roll a critical hit. Now, normally, if it were lesser foes like this, I'd probably just let them drop and not worry about it because they're not getting up again. But this is pretty fucking cool. So go ahead and give me a percentile check, and let's see what the critical effect is.
So just a D100?
Now, oh, hold on here. Actually, I think there's...
or is there something on my sheet?
I think I'm just going to see if there's a modifier. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. Percentile check.
Okay.
$89, nice. Cleft hand. His hand splays open from the blow, losing 1 finger. He gains bleeding 2 and 1 stunned condition. For every succeeding round in which he doesn't receive medical attention, he loses another finger as the wound tears. If you run out of fingers, you'll lose the hand.
Wow, this game is vicious.
Yes. So he drops down his hand, a mangled and bloodied mess. Wow. And you gain another advantage.
So I'm advantage 3 now?
Yeah. Now they give options for capping advantage. And I think what I'll say is just advantage will cap at 5 for anyone, because otherwise it just becomes, it's a foregone conclusion that you're always going to kill. And
can I move? Is it, or do you have to?
No,
move?
That was actually his turn.
That was his turn. Okay.
Yeah, now it's Gerhart's turn.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, the other Beastman's got to go. So the other one comes running up on Verner. Verner, he's going to try and hit you. So this is contested melee. Right now, he will charge in, so he's going to get a +1 to his. So he's just rolling against his base. Oh, I got a SL 0. So you just need to get an SL1 or better there, Gerhart. Or I'm sorry, Verner.
And what do I roll on this?
You're rolling your whatever your melee basic.
Oh, okay.
And subtracting 10 from it.
So do -10 on the...
Yeah. Oh, SL 7. Oy. Okay, wow. So then he hits your left arm, doing 7 points of damage. Now, from a 7, you subtract your armor and you subtract your toughness bonus. So what is your... Let's take a look at your toughness right now. Your toughness is a 29, so it's 2, and your armor of 1. Wow, it's take 4 wounds. So we add that to your token.
Toughness is the T.
You put it on your token?
Yeah, just put it on your token. It'll automatically update your character sheet. Okay, so that was the...
Toughness is T?
Toughness is your T rating.
Yeah. Okay, so Verner, this thing comes running in and batters your left arm. It seemingly comes out of nowhere. This one is... Oh, it's got like dog-like legs, like with the crooked back knees. And it's on top of its head. It's what looked like an enormously oversized mastiff's head. Complete with drool and gob coming down as it hit you. Okay, then it is Gerhart's turn. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to move to engage.
Okay. So you get +20 because you're 2 to 1.
Yep.
He currently has 1 advantage. So it's going to just net out the penalty of fighting in this terrain. I rolled an SL -3. Whoa! SL +4. Holy shit.
So I hit him for 13 points.
Oh my god. So 13 points of damage. Jesus Christ. That flail is brutal. Okay. So that means 13 minus his armor is still a massive fucking hit. Okay. So 2 minus. Yeah. Okay. Wow. And you hit him. Let's see. You rolled 27. That is in his body. So he hit Verner. And you sort of ran up beside and just wham right in the ribs. Oh, this dog-faced thing kind of staggers back. It is, I believe that's the end. No, now it's Verner's turn. Verner, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to try and pay him back for that vicious blow.
Okay, so he's currently enjoying... no, he's got no advantage now because he just got smashed by Gerhart. Gerhart, you got 1 advantage. Okay, so I actually rolled a failure, SL1 for him. -1. And Verner got a success. No, fumbling failure. Oh, no, fumble. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
So we get a chance. So here's the thing. You do have fortune that you could use to re-roll, although I don't know if you can... No, you failed a test, so you can re-roll that. There's some games where it won't let you re-roll fumbles, but this does not appear to be one of those games, which is surprising. But let's see what your fumble is. Where's the sheet?
And so the reason why it's a fumble is because you rolled doubles, but it's
rolled doubles and failed. Yeah,
and failed. So if you'd rolled doubles and succeeded, it would have been a critical hit.
That's right. Yeah. Whereas, Oops table. Okay, give me a percentile roll there, please, Jeff.
Percentile. Oh, it's not on the list.
I wonder. I mean, the character sheets seem to be pretty good. 62. Whew, you tumble badly, finding it hard to right yourself. You lose your next move. So I guess with all this overgrown stuff, you sort of swing at him and realize that, like, as you're trying to reposition your foot, that there was a tree kind of like root that you couldn't see, and you stumbled back, and that's kind of what you're doing next round is recovering. Okay, so we're at the end of the round then. We're now at the top. First up is Harry. What's Harry doing?
Harry's going to move in and engage.
Okay. Ooh, 3 to 1, which means you are now you now have plus 40.
I think we only get the smaller bonus because Verner isn't engaged because he's missing his turn.
Sorry, say again?
Because Verner's because he's missing his turn. I don't.
No, he's just missing his movement though.
Yeah, just his move.
Action.
Oh, so he just still gets to attack?
Yeah, still gets to attack. Just doesn't get a move action.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So if he would, but so to that point though, if he was missing his action and unable to attack, would it only count as 2? To Greg's point.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do I keep my advantage that I had against the last creature, or is this a fresh?
Yeah. So to Greg's point, if you don't attack each other for a full round, you are no longer engaged. So you still probably would have counted until either until Verner and the Beastman didn't attack each other.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, Dave. What'd you ask?
I had advantage 3, but was that it's advantage to an individual creature, or is it in general?
Advantage is just sort of your what it says is represents your momentum in combat and is gained when you outwit, defeat, or otherwise dominate your opponents. Advantage secured every time you win an opposed test in combat. You assess the battlefield using skills, or when your spirits are lifted. Actually, there's on page 164. There's a bunch of ways that you can do that. When you defeat an important NPC, so that's not this guy. When you win an opposed test, you get +1 advantage. Benefits +10. No, it continues until when you are not engaged, I think, for 1 round.
Okay, so this is the next round. I'm carrying it over. Advantage 3 from the last crippling.
If you accrue no advantage for the round, then you lose 1 point. So it kind of goes up to a point, and then it goes down. You lose all of it, though, if you take any wounds, suffer any condition, or lose an opposed test during combat.
Okay. So I carry my +3.
Yep.
Over here. And we have a +40. So
yeah. So you got plus and then -10 because of the overgrowth. So +60 to your check. And he has -10 to his. I rolled him -1 SL.
I'm at a +5 SL.
Wow. Okay, so 12 means minus his things. Oh God, I think we're into crit territory again. No, not quite. Not quite.
Finish him off, boys.
Okay.
He's stumbling. That left leg's not looking good.
Yeah. Okay. So Harry went, then it's Beastmen. So these things do not retreat. So I think that what it's going to do.
Can I intimidate as part of a free action before my turn ends?
No, that would be an action, I think. So I think what it's going to, like, these things are lit, like, by saying agents of chaos is sort of not losing the fact that, like, their actions and their motivations are completely beyond normal, sort of like what you would understand. The overwhelming drive of these things is generally to consume and procreate. Not necessarily in that order either. And this thing is quite intent on consuming. Is it going to go for the low-hanging fruit or the pistol? I'm going to roll randomly and see who it's going for. 2, 3. Okay, actually, it's Verner again. Verner, this thing has no advantage. I rolled an insanely bad roll. Minus, God, it wasn't a fumble, but it's a -6 SL. Yeah. So go ahead and make your roll at -10. Oh, no, hold on. Plus 30 because you're outnumbering this thing for 3 to 1.
Oh.
So actually that would have been, there you go. Nice. Success at +4. Verner, what's your weapon damage?
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then so let's make sure we're using the weapon stuff. I know you were using that before, Jeff, just because that actually calculates the hit location and the damage. So we want to look it up. So it's and a 20 is an 02. Oh, right in the head. Right in the head, you hit this thing, and this thing goes down. Give me another percentile roll. Let's roll one more crit. Again, we're not going to roll this for every creature in future. Just this is all new and fun right now. A 67. Broken nose. A solid blow to the center of its face, causing blood to pour. Gains bleeding 2 and gains stun. After the wound is healed, gain -1 on -1 SL on social rolls, or +1 depending on the context. So you bring your sword down into this thing's head, and it drops back down, squealing, and then laying still, bleeding from its face.
Yikes.
So the lightning crashes again, and you guys can hear more bleeding from off in the woods in these directions. It sounds like these two may have just been the vanguard for the warband. You know that these things, beastmen travel in these massive fucking packs. There are, when they kind of procreate and breed unrestrained, they can be these insanely large hordes that can like threaten cities. So once again, in the middle of nowhere, in the woods, in the dark, and the surroundings full of beastmen. What are you guys going to do? We're not in initiative right now.
I charge towards the noise. It's my destiny.
So
No, wait, hold. Have some sense, man.
Sigmar guides my hand, and I charge off into the woods.
He's going to guide you to an early grave if you don't do that. You can do more good by getting yourself to a warm bed tonight. And
you hear me go off into the rain in the distance. The doom is upon us.
So you really weren't kidding about having this character gone by the end. Does anybody want to try and spin a different way for Gerhart, like say to protect you guys against these things?
Yes, I will try and persuade him in exactly that fashion.
So Gerhart,
Sigmar requires us to, get to our important meeting and to do good upon the land. And you're going to leave us in our moment of need?
Great. Gerhart's like, You can hear the bleeding of these things moving through the woods towards you guys. Verner, what are you doing?
He's looking at his arm at this massive amount of damage.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out what he's going to do.
Okay. So here's what you guys can do. Is none of you took critical hits, so that's a big thing.
Without a survival check to determine how many creatures we hear?
Sure.
Or like a rough number?
It's like certainly more than you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely like you guys are for sure outnumbered. And what you know is that, again, like these things, it could be that this is a pack of 10. It could be that this is hundreds of them making their way through the woods. These things are extremely fecund and procreate really fucking quickly. Chaos is a aggressive cancer in the old world. So here, if you get a good night's sleep, you make an average, so plus 20 endurance test, and if so, then you heal the success level of that roll plus your toughness bonus.
Right.
Oh, actually, no. Hold on. You. It's not whether you succeed. It's your success level plus your toughness bonus. So even if you fail, you're going to get some,
Right.
potentially. Medical attention. So it's not surgery that you need. It's application of the heal skill. Give me 1 sec here. Look up the heal skill. I'd like that there is stuff that happens even when you fail in it. Like that's a cool mechanical trick or mathematical trick, I should say. All right, so let's see what the heal skill is. Does anyone have ranks in heal?
I do not, but I did notice I actually have low light vision.
Oh, interesting. What does that do?
I don't know. I think as long as there's a light source, I can see.
Okay.
Night vision, low light. It was one of the talents that I ended up with.
I have ranks in cool, because
cool. You will be helpful with because that's like resisting fear.
I'm just gonna see what this button actually. Is this the combat button we're supposed to roll? Oh, it is. Instead of rolling a skill test on our up top, we roll the weapon check. Okay.
Yeah, as long as you entered your weapon in the weapon section, there's.
Oh, here we go. So is anyone is anyone trained in heal?
No,
I don't believe so.
It'd be one of our extra skills.
Yeah, it's an advanced skill. So the reason I ask is
not.
because if you're trained in heal, you make a check and then you heal wounds equal to your intelligence bonus plus the success level. And after each encounter, you can only benefit from it once. But so that's something to bear in mind for next time. So these things are bearing down on you.
Are they coming from the south? Like from the direction these other guys came?
Deeper in the forest, away from the river is back over this way.
Yeah.
They're coming from this direction.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, you do have you think you might have at least an opportunity to try and make a break for the shoreline. So Verner and Gerhart, you are a little banged up, but what are you guys going to do?
Well, I don't know. We could either go back towards the shore, but that we might just get pinned against the shore, or we could go like south on the map here.
So the boat is seaworthy. However, it's just that you're going to have to pull over. You're going to have to pull to the shore again, and you're probably going to want to stay as close to the shore as possible, right, because you've only got one oar right now.
Right.
So, like mechanically, what you guys will be able to do is you could make a check, another sail check. Does anyone else have ranks in sail?
Negative.
No. Okay. So
I'm just saying that, like, rather than go directly back to the boat,
you're saying
a tracker with them. We don't lead them directly back to where we were.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because they're going to move. The pack is probably moving faster than we are. Right.
Yeah.
So if we
that actually brings up an interesting point. So these things did seem to move fairly easily, and like they were moving through this stuff a lot faster than what you guys are, and that is because of an ability they have, or trait called Arboreal,
right,
where they basically have to ignore difficult terrain because of what they are. So what are you guys going to do? You're in the darkness here. The rain is coming down. You're bleeding from wounds.
Let's just get away from this spot.
Yeah, let's go south and then work our way back towards the boat.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do is anyone pick somebody to make a, let's see here. A stealth check. But I'm going to give you a total, it's going to be an easy check. So a plus 20, and that's because of the ambient conditions. And I'll give you another plus 10 because some of you guys are trained in outdoor survival. So it'll be a total of plus 30 to the stealth roll. Who wants to make the stealth check?
I'm reasonably good in stealth, but I'm not trained.
Okay. How about Verner? You trained in stealth?
No, I'm not trained, but I'm pretty agile. But
Yeah, just go ahead, roll, Jeff. I
So-
don't think it really matters which one of us rolls.
No. So you get plus 30 to your roll.
Because roll 20 could, screw us over, regardless who rolls.
It is, yeah. And I'm going to roll for there. This is technically an opposed.
Oh.
Nice.
Verner.
Okay. So a success level of 2. Yeah.
And we have that as well, right? That night vision, low light. So
Yeah. So what does that talent actually do?
I don't know. Let me
Let's see here.
I think I seem to remember that it said something to the thing. As long as there's any light source, so
Yeah.
moonlight or. Oh, 132.
Where is it here? Night vision, is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, night vision, low light. Yeah.
Yeah, at least you have a faint source of things like starlight, moonlight, bioluminescence. You can see 20 yards per level in it. So I'm going to say that what it is you've got, as the light from the lightning fades, you're able to see a little bit longer. Like it's not enough light right now to make out by, but Gerhart's definitely probably going to be the one who's taking the lead. So you guys wander, through this dank thing, woods. Gerhart's leading along, stumbling along in almost blindly much of the time, and then you finally find yourself back at this at the edge of the river. You're probably further downriver, or sorry, upriver than where you were before, but. Where you reach, the river kind of bends off in the direction away from you. And Gerhart, you've got the most keen vision here. So you get to the edge, and Verner's like, "It's back this way. We've got to go back." But you look over, Gerhart, and you think you can see there's light on the shore, further upriver.
Oh, okay.
Or like downriver, like further ahead of the river where you guys were.
Okay. Beyond where the boat was.
Yes, in the opposite direction, like the direction you guys were actually heading.
Okay.
So you can
Well,
stop.
I point that out to them.
Okay. So guys, it looks like there's light further up the river.
We should break for it.
Yep.
If it's some kind of civilization, it's a hell of a lot safer than being out here with a horde of these monsters.
Yeah. So we'll move under concealment, I guess, if we can.
Sure.
And
you guys certainly rolled well enough in your stealth that, deking the other direction and making your way along the shore, you can still hear the bleeding of these things further back, and certainly way closer than what you were comfortable with. But you do feel like you're making some distance between them. It will probably take you about maybe half an hour or 45 minutes to make it to that point on the shore. And as you guys are doing, before we find what you reach on the shore, why don't we take our bio break right now? So why don't we take 5 minutes, go refresh our beverages, empty our bladders, and then we'll see what you find further up the shore. And move it back to the map here. Boom. And we'll be back in a couple minutes here.
Well, even though we had them sort of outnumbered in both times, that seems quite dangerous combat.
Yeah, I think the advantage, that momentum, is pretty lethal.
Oh, absolutely.
The further you get behind, the less likely you are to.
I mean, which is kind of realistic when it comes to a fight like that. I mean, you start taking some bad hits, you're in big trouble.
Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Let's see. Oh, Dave's away. Okay, that'll give me a moment to set up the next map. So let's see here. So for those listening, oh, Jeff, you're here still.
Yeah.
Nice. So for those listening at home, I'm going to apologize for the state of the maps I'm using. I did not take sufficient time to get these suckers ready. So let me see if I can adjust the opacity here of some of this stuff and make it look a little better. Oh, that's the grid. Hold on. That's what I want. There we go. Boom. That'll look a little better. And that'll look a little better. Boom. There we go. There we go. Nice. All right. I want to keep things secret both from you, Jeff, and from everyone else. So, So what do you think of our first combat in this?
Oh, this is quite a deadly system.
Yeah. Hey?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's neat because a lot of the adventures in this seem to be a lot like if you compare reading a Warhammer, like an older, like second edition or first edition Warhammer adventure versus like a D&D or a Pathfinder adventure, D&D Pathfinder adventures are a lot of like there's story going on as well, but it's generally like, you know, it's a map with a series of combat encounters and stuff like that. In Warhammer, it's a lot more like chatty type stuff in most cases. Because combat's like there's combat in there as well, but because combat is really fucking lethal, you generally want to try and be as clever or whatever as you can to get through those encounters.
Right, totally.
So an interesting thing too, do you remember the adventure in our Iron Kingdoms game where you guys were solving that murder mystery on that caravan? Remember, you're escorting people up through. You had left Bison Head, and you were escorting people up, and there was someone that ended up getting murdered, and you're trying to figure out who it was.
Or who done the murder. Yeah,
that was a Warhammer adventure that I was reskinned. And there's another one. Do you remember where like you guys were staying at a hotel or like a roadside inn, and then a bunch of crazy shit happened, and you guys were attacked and whatever?
Yeah.
Also, Warhammer adventure that was just reskinned. So they're very much, more, it's a lot more like something's going on, your characters get involved with it, and then, there may be combat as well, but it definitely, it gives it the severity, like violence in this can potentially carry a much steeper penalty than in D&D or Pathfinder for sure. So, which fits with the, kind of ambient, the setting. So we're all back now. Let me just move some tokens over here. Make sure I've got sufficient room. There we go. Oh, man. And carrying those wounds forward, that's a tough fucking draw, hey?
Absolutely.
Having some fingers removed from your hand make things challenging going forward.
Okay, I'm going to have to resize. Your tokens are going to get a little teeny tiny here, guys, so I apologize for that. It's, partly because there's the map. Your DM did not resize the map properly. So I'm assuming Gerhart's going to be taking the lead as you guys are making your way along the side here. Yeah, I'll put you up there. Gerhart, you'll put you up front. And Verner. So here's what happens. Let me reveal some of this area. Boom. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so guys, this, as you're making your way along, you see the glow get, as you're getting closer, it becomes less frequent that you can see this, and you just have to kind of rely on your faith that by continuing your travels, you will eventually reach whatever it is that's on the shoreline there that's causing this light. Because as you're, obviously you're making your way along, there's more of the forest that's just, crouching in. The river has swollen up with the rain that's falling. And that's when you come along the side to a bit of an opening in the forest. And this is what you see, guys. You might want to zoom in a little bit to make the map a little more clear. But this is what you see. Along the river's edge there, it looks like there is a small wharf. There is a ferry, and then there is a building on the edge as well. The source of the light seems to be a roadside inn. Oops, let me get back to select, which is up here, guys. Further up that road. The road kind of goes up from the riverbank, and then there is this heavily, as is often the case for these roadside inns or these coach inns, the inn has a palisade around it to keep it safe. You can't quite make it out right now. All it is just black and silhouette, black along there. But this is what you see right now.
Is Verner familiar with this area? Has he been here before?
Yeah. I mean, Verner. Well, here, why don't we do this? Let me think here. Let me take a look at your skills here, Verner. I'm trying to decide what it might be here. You know what? Why don't we say, here's advanced skills. Why don't we make it, well, give me a sail check at, we'll say plus 10. And this will give us how familiar you are with, if you can remember the name of this place or what. Nice. Critical success. Nat 1. Awesome.
Wow.
All right, so here's the thing. That's super fucking interesting. So this place is called the Hooded Man. And I think that with a critical success, you've been here a bunch of times before.
Nice.
And the Hooded Man... One sec here. Hooded Man is owned by a guy named
Kevin Jeff Gregory's.
Yeah, really. I love Lamp. It's a guy named Oswald. So the I'm sure, Greg, you make use of this as well too. Xanathar's Guide, while I don't run a lot of 5e, Xanathar's Guide sees use at almost every single session for their name chart at the back of the book.
Amazing, yeah.
It's so good. Okay. So Oswald, you know this guy Oswald. With a crit success, Verner, this is a dude. Oh, thank God. How could you forget that the Hooded Man is here?
Right.
Yeah. But I guess with the crit success, you can see that something is the ferry. Like, you've seen this ferry. The ferry leads to the far side of the river, and there's something off about it. Like, you know how when you come home and you keep stuff in your, or you go back to your hometown and you can just see okay, something's off here. What is it that's different? Something looks off about that ferry. What are you guys going to do?
Is the ferry actually docked on this side, or has it been washed away in the storm?
The raft is there on your side of the river.
Okay.
And I think you see that there's those winches there. That's basically where it uses that to sort of winch it to the far side of the river.
Right.
Right. So you've seen this operated before, and that's maybe why it looks, a little off there, Verner. It's just, I don't know. You have to inspect it probably a little closer to try and figure out.
Sure.
But what does Verner say then to everyone else?
Just that he's been here multiple times. He knows the owner. He's not too talkative about that with these guys at this point. They're, still somewhat strangers to him, I guess I would say.
We can assume you guys have known each other well enough to decide to, try and be, try and put together this team, I guess.
Right. Oh, that's true.
So, what do you guys want to do? That this building here, this is the ferry building.
Werner, do you think this place would withstand, an attack? Should we hole up inside?
Well, it's only right up here is where the hooded man is. Like the building that's here, that's not the source of the light. The source of the light is actually that palisaded building. This is not quite right, but this just to give you a sense of what we're looking at. That's kind of.
We should head over to the hooded man then.
There is, of course, a wall around this building. This is not. I just thought it was a pretty cool looking, old timey kind of thing.
Well, you say there's something off about the ferry building and the winches?
The ferry itself, not the ferry. The way the ferry is sitting in the water seems weird to Verner. So what are you guys going to do?
What's off there, Verner?
Yeah, maybe you see him looking at it.
You look troubled.
Yeah. So what would I say? What is off about it? Do I know for sure?
You'll just have to get in a little closer and.
Well, let's go take a look. He'll say then something seems off.
Okay. So you get over there, and the ferry's on your side, and it is. You're right, Greg. This being it's buffeted up and down and by the waves, but I mean this thing has seen bad weather before.
I'm just going to move around the top part of that building just in case something.
Sure. So you kind of look at stuff. Gerhart, would you give me a perception check, please?
Sure.
And so as Verner, you're sort of looking at this thing and you look at the winches and you're looking at the raft itself and you sort of crank one of the winches because it seems like it's sitting there's a little more give to it than what there normally is. These things are normally kind of tight, so you kind of yank on it and it's cranking fairly easily. You look down at the raft and I mean you've got pretty high boots, so you don't have to worry about stepping into the river a little bit and getting your feet soaking wet, but you step into the river, you pull down and grab the rope and you pull it up and it's been cut. So one of the big, massive rope that sort of guides this ferry back and forth across the river, it's been cut.
On our end or the other end?
Yep, on this bank.
So what would that mean? You're the experienced sailor. Why would that happen? Was it the ferryman cut it so something couldn't use it to come across, or
maybe somebody sabotaging it on this side?
Yeah, I don't know if it's sabotage or defensive measures.
It would be, I mean, as to why someone would cut them, I'll leave that to you guys. Your kind of imagination as to what might have caused that, but yeah, it's not an easy fix. It means that someone's going to have to run another rope across the, someone's going to have to get a really thick and heavy long rope and then run the damn thing across the river again. So it's no small thing what's happened, whether it was the ferryman who got that or not. I mean, it could be preventing someone from getting across or preventing someone from getting away.
Does this ferry building appear to be sealed?
If you look at the ferry building, the door is just slightly askew.
Okay.
So if you go up there and you kind of push it open, it doesn't look like there's anyone in there. And there's a small accumulation of water where the blowing rain has got in.
Oh, okay.
When you get in there, Gerhart, you look around and like either this guy keeps a really filthy building or there was a struggle in here.
Okay.
Because there's a chair knocked over, there's a log book, like it's not like a what do you call harbor master, but like the equivalent of keeping whatnot. That's
who's come and gone across the like a account book, like
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's strewn across the ground. Yeah. So you guys, Gerhart has gone inside. What are Verner and Harry doing? Or were you following him in there?
I was outside near the where the rope was cut, just kind of looking around. I don't really know much about this, but
okay. So maybe you and Werner were talking that through. Werner, what are you doing?
I think he's just checking, more around the building and whatnot. He's not really ready to go in.
Are there any tracks leading into the building? Noticeably, I mean, hoof marks are like unexpected. I mean, I know there's been a lot of rain and stuff like that, but
yeah. So you go ahead and make another perception, and I think because of you're specifically looking for stuff like that, give me I'll give you a plus 20 to your perception check. Nice. SL5. Wow. Okay. So it doesn't take you very long to see that there are it looks like someone has done a pretty shit job of trying to clean up blood on the inside of the ferry building. And looking outside, there is a fresh enough trail of blood that the pounding rain hasn't washed it away, but it leads from the door. And basically, as soon as the overhang of the roof, as soon as that is passed, the trail is completely lost.
Right. Does it look like a body was being dragged, or
it does? Yeah.
Or a wounded person was like dripping as they went.
The smear that you see on the kind of like on the what do you call it? Like the bottom of the door frame, and then leading out just outside. There's probably like a plank of wood set down just to, prevent you from constantly walking on mud. That's got some smeared blood on it. It's dragged across.
Okay. Well, I go out, look for Verner, and I said, I believe your friend has met misfortune. Looks like there's been a fight inside, and a body has been dragged into the woods.
Oh, this is bad.
You know, Verner, that Oswald actually doesn't operate the ferry. Oswald operates the Hooded Man.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like the ferryman is probably someone you would have met at one point as well.
Well, then I think we should knock on the door, and not just walk in as one normally would.
Okay. So what you know is that this place this is pretty typical of the coach inns in the old world. There is an entrance that like is off the main gate, and then there's a side one that generally like staff uses. So if you let me reveal some more of what you see here. So these are the two ways of going up towards it, guys. I'll also reveal this because I think you're familiar with this kind of area here, Verner.
So there's like a back path and a main path.
Yeah.
Do we want to go up the main path?
Well, let's since I know about it, let's take the back path.
Okay.
Well, they're headed. Well, let me just zoom this in a little bit.
So is that this way?
So the main gate. Okay, so
like this way, like
the main gate is the double gate, and
and
the
the main
single gate is the back path, right?
That's right. The single gate is sort of the back path used by the ferryman.
Okay, well, why don't you lead? Because if you've known some of the folks from these parts, they might recognize you.
Oh, Dave, I'm getting a...
You're really quiet.
Yeah, you're really quiet.
Oh, sorry, my mic was up.
Nice.
Why don't you lead? Because if someone looking out a window sees you and recognizes you, that's perhaps, keeps the crossbow from twanging.
Sure.
Okay. So the fencing around here is pretty common. I'm trying to say the height here.
Is the weather subsided at all?
No, unfortunately, the weather is still the same. So the wall around is 12 feet high, and it's a wooden wall. Yeah. So you make your way. You're going which direction? Up towards the.
Yeah, up towards that back path there. Exactly. Okay. I can put us over.
Sure.
While they're headed that direction, while I can still see them in the distance, I'm going to quickly go and take the most direct route from the way the blood trail, because I don't think the person would have spent a lot of time ditching the body. They're probably going to ditch it as soon as they hit the tree line.
Oh, I see. Sure. So to take a look around, give me another perception roll, please. I'll give you another plus 20.
Or did it go to the water?
You guys know from having spent a brief amount of time in the river that if it was disposed in the river, it would have easily been carried away.
Well, you said the blood trail went out around the building and headed off.
No. The blood trail went immediately out of the building, and then as soon as basically you got past where the overhang for the roof is, the trail was completely lost because of the pounding rain and the mud and whatnot. So,
what was the blood trail come out of the door? Did it go towards the river or away from the river?
You rolled SL5. It went towards the river.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. No. It went towards the. It was angled slightly up towards, I guess, this direction here, like towards the direction of the hooded man.
Okay. Okay. So 20.
How do I change my color? Pings and stuff are hard to see.
Oh, just go to your what do you call it?
The cog?
I think it's go to the cog. Or maybe no, just click on your. No, that's not right.
It's your character. Right below your picture, you'll see a color.
All right, I'll figure it out. Carry on.
All right. So Gerhart, looks like Harry and Verner are making their way up the path.
Yep.
So you can still see them. You're able to scamper up and catch up to them. So Verner, this is the small, this is a single person access door into the side of the wall. If you can think of in Fellowship of the Ring, the little door built into the bigger gate.
In Bree,
yeah. That's kind of what you're looking at here. Is this? But as you approach it, the door is slightly askew. Like it's not sealed.
Like the gate.
Yeah. Well, it's a door in the wall.
It's a door, okay.
Yeah, the main gate itself is big enough to fit like a coach through, or a carriage. This is enough for like a man to fit through.
Hmm.
This is like a normal sized door set into the 12-foot high wooden wall.
Well, why don't I heft one of you up? You said the wall was 10 feet tall?
12 feet tall.
Well, why don't I put one of you on my shoulders and you can look over the wall?
The door is open. I mean,
before we wander into the courtyard unseen, why don't we just peek over the wall?
Sure.
Right? I'm guessing the combination, because I'm over 6 feet tall, so, I mean, and should be strong enough to lift someone up, and they can sort of peek over the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we'll do. Just because who knows what's in the courtyard.
Okay. So by doing so, this is sort of what you guys will see here. Let's reveal some of this area.
And can we see if the carriage gates are open?
The gates, so like at the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sealed.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can look over. You can see they're sealed. There are lights inside the main structure.
Okay. And I'm guessing this building to the right here is like a stable or a carriage storage area or something like that. Okay.
Would you guys kindly, when you're getting close to the thing there, why don't you each give me a perception check at +10, please? Let's see how everybody does.
Nice.
Okay. So Verner, nice. Harry's even better. Was that Gerhart's success? Was it +4?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So all of you guys hear this, but Gerhart, you're the first one to hear it. You're walking up, and what you can hear is the sound of basically horses panicking. And you can hear the sound of bang, bang, bang.
From this building to the right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Verner, you hear that as well, too, and you know just from experience that basically the stable or the coach house is right over there. I'll show you what, because I'm going to assume you can describe it to the other guys. This is sort of what it looks like. Oh, that would be where the coach house is. The banging is coming from actually, forgive me, over here.
Okay.
So I would tell them that there's a stable there.
Yeah. Bang,
What would be spooking the horses? So?
Beastmen? But I don't think it is actually, because the beastmen would just bust down the gate. There's no subtlety to them.
Mm-hmm.
We should get in there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll push up along the side here, trying to keep against the building.
Okay.
And
so,
then,
in spite of the rain pouring down, you can still especially Gerhard, you can clearly see there's no one else in the courtyard here. It's just small puddles filling up with water.
Okay.
Verner, are you heading in as well?
Any lights on in the carriage house?
I'll head in with them.
so when we get to the corner, I'm gonna be have my back up against the wall and just sort of look around the corner to see if the coach house gates are open.
Sure. So the coach house, these doors over here are, like I said, are complete. The gates are sealed. The coach house is closed up, and there are no lights inside. Verner, you know from past experience, this is where if there's a carriage or a coach that's making its way, down the road, this is where it would overnight. They'd have it stored in there. But the sound is coming from the stables over here.
Oh, it's the stables. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm looking to see, if the stable doors are askew or.
Stable doors are shut. That's whatever is inside that's banging against it. That seems to be what is
something spooking horses.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what can we see up directly in front of us, up the side of the building?
Up the side of which building?
Like directly north from where we are. There's a gap between the stables and the coach.
Oh yes. What you can see. This. And what you can tell from past experience there, Verner, this here is the kitchen.
Yeah.
This is the bar room. The bigger square there. And then over here is the larder.
Okay.
And let me, actually, I got a way I can make this easier for you guys. Check this out. Boom. 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 How's that?
Let's go check out the stables.
Okay.
Bang, bang. Something's pushing. Bam, bam. And you can hear horses going wild inside.
Are the doors solid? Like top to bottom?
Anyone have animal training? Horses?
I have charm animal, but
You charm animal? Okay. Yeah.
Just make a normal roll.
So let's see here. Yeah, they're banging away. Tell me what you're doing. Like, how are you? Are you saying anything into the door, or?
Well, does it sound like the animals in the stables are in their stalls and something is in the sort of neutral area in the middle?
No, it sounds to you like they're banging at the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're definitely panicked. Like, you know this. If you got charm animal, you know what a panicked horse sounds like.
Well, I think if we open the doors, we should stand to the side, and the animals will automatically flee, and we won't get run over. And then
but they'll still be locked in this fenced area, right?
They'll still be locked in the fenced area, right? Yeah.
Oh, we didn't close that.
Okay.
We didn't close that back door, did we? The man-sized door? Because they could probably get out there.
Well, we could just run across, close it, and then.
Okay, I'll go close it.
Close it, and then come back.
Okay. Well, I mean, knowing what was pursuing you out there, I imagine you guys really were quite intent on making sure all the things are sealed. So that's fine.
And I mean, if there's a bar, obviously there's some sort of mechanism to keep the door locked from the inside. We would have locked it as well, right?
I've done.
Werner, you might want to step away from that door as soon as you can.
Okay. So who is going to unlatch the stable door then?
I'm the least wounded. I'll do it.
Is there
all right,
like ring handles or some mechanism to open the door? Like what type of handle?
Yeah, it's got like a bar across it. Yeah, it's a fairly primitive locking mechanism, so you're gonna have to pick it up and go. But your charm animal idea, you could try. Animal training is an easier test, but you could try charm animal to try and like calm them down.
Soothe them? Sure. Yeah, I'll try to soothe them through the door.
Okay. So give me just a challenging, so no modifier, charm animal test. Okay. So whatever is panicking them, it's not. It may be the fact that you're trying to do it through a door and you're not familiar with you, right? So,
well, we should be able to stand to the side and slide the bar out without being in front of the doors, right?
You're still gonna. What will happen is because of the precautions you guys are taking, I'm going to give you a little bit more of a modifier. It's still going to require a dodge check.
Okay, I can dodge.
I can dodge.
I'm dodger.
Okay. So Harry, would you kind of give me a dodge check with plus 30?
Sorry, I think we lost you there. I lost you for a second there.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear Dave? Nice. Okay. So you get up there and they're bang, bang, they're sort of banging. You're trying to kind of pick up some kind of rhythm or at least find an opportunity when they're not just pushing up against the board. And there's a split second where you've got it. You yank the thing up and loose the doors, run out of the way, and then the doors are, bam, thrown open. And 6 horses come racing out into the courtyard in a mad panic, all whinnying, their eyes wide, quickly drenched in coming out, but they're already slick with sweat as they run out into the night. And they basically start, they make their way off into the courtyard in general and sort of are milling around, getting as far away from the stables as they can get. Let me reveal what the stables look like. There you go. So this is what you see inside. Now, let's see here. Yeah. So that's what you see within is the stables. There are a couple of stalls in there as well, but it's almost like pitch black in there. So
are there any like lanterns or anything in the courtyard?
In the courtyard, I don't think so.
There's got to be something hanging nearby in the stables that could be usable. Yeah,
that would be. So there's a little lantern in the inside of the stable. You can probably find whatever it is you need to get it lit.
Okay, I'll light a lantern and hold it in one hand with my cudgel in the other.
Okay, so you do so and you look in the stables. So there is, what you see is now an empty stable Pretty much. I mean, nothing you can see right now. There are the stalls on the right there. You kind of look up, holding the lantern up, and you can see that there is a ladder.
Is there any distinct smells that overpowers the smell of like horse and
horse?
animal?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna make it a. Give me a perception at -10.
Okay.
Only because you're right that there's just like the smell, not only the mildew and whatnot, but the horse manure and stuff like that would be. Yeah. So you sniff and.
Just give me 1 sec here.
Sure. Verner and Harry, what are you guys making of this?
Something very bad has happened here, obviously.
Well, maybe something happened inside that spooked the horses. You know, something.
Yeah, maybe.
We should get in.
I think we should go check inside.
Okay.
Would you go through the kitchen or would you go through the bar room?
Or do you think whatever spooked the horses is still in one of the stalls? Because they were trying to get out of the building, right?
Yeah, but if something happened in the house, then they would still maybe be scared. I don't know. Do you want to check the stables out first?
Guys,
we'll check the stalls one at a time.
You hear a thump from somewhere in the stables.
Okay. Can we tell which stall it's from?
Well, you actually realize that there's a hayloft.
Okay.
The ladder leads up to a hayloft.
Uh-oh. I'll follow you up the ladder with the light.
Okay. I'll go up first with the pointy end of my flail.
Okay. So you guys make your way over to that stall. And
with the ladder. Okay, I see it. Yep.
Yeah. Once you get there, you realize that there is the crumpled form of a person right near the corner, closest to the entrance. So it was sort of shrouded in shadow.
Okay.
But as you bring the light over, you see that right in that stall. As you're walking towards the ladder, you see there is a crumpled form in there.
Noticeable wounds?
If you go over and inspect, there's two things. This is looks like it was a boy in his late teens.
Okay.
And I say was because there is a vicious sword wound right in his forehead. That seems to be the source of his demise. But you look down, and his arm is sort of splayed out. The body sort of is crumpled down. It looks like it's been maybe dragged over and then stuffed. But you see the arm is sort of akimbo to the rest of the body in a weird way. You think like either he fell in a strange way or someone picked it up at you.
Like he toppled out of the hayloft and landed?
Maybe, or like someone was holding the arm. So you kind of hit it with your toe and you see it turned over, and on the forearm there are 3 places where chunks of bloody flesh have been torn out of it.
Okay. Like claws?
Like a bite of some kind.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's scenes where like unsuccessful mastication has happened, where something's been gnawing on the bonier parts of the arm, and then the fleshier bits have been like torn out.
Decent.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. We should be getting inside or seeing if anyone's even alive still inside.
Well, let's check upstairs real quick. Make sure there's not something behind us.
I'll go up.
Gerhart's ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yep.
And then quickly inside.
So I have my flail turned around so that the chains are hanging down and that the handle with the like spiky end is up, so I can use it like a spear and poke the guy and don't have to swing it around in close quarters.
Okay. So as you get over to the ladder, you're about maybe a rung up from like head height when your hand hits something wet, and you just bring it back because it was unexpected, and your hand is completely covered in crimson gore.
Oh, I wipe it on Dave. I'm like, I just sort of, he's below me, I wipe it off on him and I keep going.
So, and every one of these rungs is covered in blood.
Nice.
So you make your way up to the...
I hear Sigmar calling me.
So you continue on up to the loft itself, and you can see that there is water dripping down the what do you call it? The part of the roof, and looking up at it, you kind of, once you get up into the hayloft and you get near the corner where the wall meets the slanted roof, and you kind of poke, and you realize there's a trap door there that leads out to the roof. You poke it open, and you're greeted by the torrential rain pouring in.
Okay.
And when it goes down, for a moment, Verner, you're still, it sounds like on the ground floor. It sounds like the same thumping that you heard. What are you doing, Gerhart?
Oh, I'm going up through the trap door.
Okay, so you push open the trapdoor. Okay, so are you going to try and get onto the roof?
I'm going to look first. And
Okay,
then,
so you get up onto the roof, and you looking around, and would you kindly give me a perception check, please?
Okay.
Okay, so you're looking around, and the from where you are, the roof carries up to the top. It's difficult to see because of the fucking pounding rain and the darkness and whatever. But when there's a flash of lightning, you think you see the bald pate of someone's head on the far side of the roof, kind of like hunching over, and you see I guess the whites of its eyes as well too. It looks and then kind of skitters down, try and get out of the way. So it's on the far side of the apex of the roof.
Okay.
You think you see actually probably, because I rolled really terribly for the stealth check. You see what looks like its legs don't seem to be in the right place. It was a human-shaped head, but there was a weird, angled, it's almost like a straight leg up and then angled down straight leg. You didn't get a good enough view to get more, but it seems like it's a normal human would not be able to twist their leg in that position.
Okay. So this, obviously out of game. Is this or the image that I have in my mind is like a werewolf or something in transition where it's not quite a wolf and it's not quite a man. It's somewhere in between.
No, imagine seeing the top of someone's head, but then seeing a leg come up and then down, right next to them. I'm doing it off camera here. Imagine my head's right here, and then see a leg go up and down, right near where its shoulder should be.
So it's
like a spider almost.
Yeah, kind of. You're just kind of it twists. It's wrong. I mean, it looks wrong to you.
Okay. Well, I turn my flail around.
Okay.
So now the business end is pointed outwards.
Okay.
And I advance cautiously. Is the roof flat or angled?
No, it's angled, which means it's going to be requiring an athletics check to avoid slipping. And unfortunately, it's a challenging athletics check. So it's
Harry coming up the ladder too.
Okay.
Behind. So I don't know how long it takes for me to get up there.
Gerhart, well, you're basically there as well. So you would see Gerhart making the decision whether to climb out onto this roof or not.
Can I hang the lantern on the edge of the ladder so I don't have to worry about dropping it and setting everything ablaze?
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, so is it a hooded lantern?
It probably is. You could probably take it under the roof if you want.
Yeah, so why don't you pass me the lantern and we'll shine it at this creature and see what it is.
Okay, I'll hand it to you.
Okay, so I hold it out.
It's not so much the lack of light, it's the angles, because you're on the bottom edge of the slanted roof and it's on the other side of the peak.
So when the trapdoor opened, did it open upwards?
Yeah.
So can I use that part of the trapdoor to anchor? Like how it's sitting. It's not roof material, so I can put my feet up against it.
You can, but to move any further beyond just standing there, So you're able to get up there, but there's not, you're still not able to see this this thing. So Gerhart has managed to get himself standing on the roof, and he's got his foot braced against the edge of the trap door to prevent himself from slipping down. Again, it'll to get you to move basically on this roof, it's going to require an athletics check.
And what type of material is like the roof? Is it tile? Or...
It's like wooden shingles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's on the far side.
It's gone over the
down
apex.
Yeah, it's gone like over the other. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say, so from the outside, when we were approaching the stables, there is a gap between the stables and the main buildings, like the store area.
There is, yeah.
I'll tell Verner what's going on and say, hey, go watch the gap between the buildings. Make sure this creature or whatever it is doesn't escape.
Okay. You got it.
And I don't know if two of us up on the roof is really going to help much.
So here's the other thing, too. So if you look at the coach house, are those stairs leading up to a second level of the coach house? Or is that just like a wood pile?
They lead to the second floor of the coach house, yeah.
Maybe one of us could go down and take the lantern and go stand on the stairs. Because I don't feel like chasing this creature across the roof is all like safe. Whereas if we can get it to jump down, right, then it might damage itself or it might take some time. So
I'm going to climb down.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with the lantern.
Well, you might want to take the lantern so you can shine it at him.
Okay, I'll go back.
Yeah, I hand the lantern down to Harry,
and then I'll come down the ladder. And I don't know if it's going to really do much from that far away, but
because I'm guessing the whatever it is in on somewhere on that side of the roof, right?
Right, but even from the ground, I should be able to get some kind of a.
Yeah, you should get advantage of some sort. Because it's
Verner, come out here and see if you can find this creature.
Yeah, I'll come out with Harry.
Okay.
Wait, so are you on the ground? You want me on the second floor?
No, us outside, I guess. Unless there's a lantern that you can light from the coach house. Is there a lantern over there?
Oh, I don't know. I could look. Kev, can I find a lantern over here?
Are you going to go inside the coach house?
I mean, I could.
Probably less wet.
Is there doors up here on the second floor?
There are.
Okay, I'll listen and see if I hear anything.
It's perfectly black in there, and you do not hear anything.
Okay, I'll open the doors then and look in and see if I can see a lantern.
Excuse me. Here. We need to reveal that. One sec here.
Sorry.
Okay, so you throw that open, and what you find Verner is this. These are the servants' quarters.
Mm.
And I think you probably can find you could probably find like a wick, like a candle or something like that to light. I think that because no one is here, any lantern they'd be carrying would be back inside. So what are you going to do? You want something to give some light off.
Yeah. I'm looking for some light.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can find a candle that you'll be able to light.
Okay, I'll take the candle and then just head back outside to help the guys.
Okay. So here we go. So you're outside. So you have a candle lit. You're looking up into the darkness. For pounding rain. Now, Gerhart, is there something that you were waiting for?
Well, I'm making sure that the creature doesn't come back through the trapdoor.
Okay.
Right.
So you're sort of waiting there.
Because I think if they see him or spot him or shine the lantern on him, he might decide to move.
Okay. So, Harry and Verner, tell me or describe for me what you guys are doing from where you are. Verner, you can't quite see onto the roof, but actually, why don't you do this? Why don't you give me a perception check, please?
Okay.
No modifiers. We're just going to do a contested one here.
Yep. Oh, nice.
Oh, amazing. All right.
Eli.
So what you see on the roof, at first you think it's two different things. It looks like it's a smaller man, like someone who's maybe like 5'3", 5'4". And I say man, I mean it could man or woman. It's a human. But you see that you also think it's moving like some kind of enormous spider, and then the lightning crashes, and you can see that this thing seems to have like fleshy legs that are out of its back, and there's two sets of them that sort of jut out of its back and are holding it up as it kind of like, in this herky-jerky way is skittering across the roof. It seems to have incredibly steady footing, and then it's gone. Can you give me a cool check, please?
A cool check.
Yeah.
Ooh. Lost my cool.
So I think you're not going to be penalized by anything right now. I was just wondering whether you would react. So this is obviously fucking terrifying. Like you're in the middle of this blackened thing. This is a wholly unnatural creature. Harry is standing probably about 20 or 30 feet away. Gerhart is God knows where on the far side of this roof. What do you do?
Which way did the creature go? Did it go north?
It skittered back towards the north again. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was only in sight for a moment, and then kind of skittered back deeper onto the roof, so he can't see it. The roof is still a little higher than where Verner is, so he's not quite even with it. The roof of the coach house is probably even with it if he decided to try and crawl up on the the roof of the coach house, but that's likely going to be as treacherous as what the roof of the stables is right now.
Right. So do I have any kind of arrange anything?
Don't know. What's on your
dagger, sling pouch, sling bag, pouch, dagger, no, clothing, sword, and I have spirits. So I don't really have.
So you take a swig of your booze.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably do actually take a swig of my booze.
Harry, what are you doing right now?
Well, if this creature's not coming down and we're not going after it, I'm really keen on finding out what else has happened here. Like, is there?
Yeah, and remember, like you guys, you're not a hive mind, right? Like Verner hasn't said anything, so you have no idea what's up there. Same thing with Gerhart.
It's not come down. I can't see it, so I'm almost tempted to go into the kitchen.
But I think I after a swig of my drink, I will describe what I could see.
So what do you say? Remember that like Harry's across a courtyard right now, and
oh yeah, I guess I don't want to yell. Never mind. Yeah.
I mean, you can move your way over there.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll start moving over there too. You're gonna check the house, is that what you said, Harry?
Well, I started walking towards the kitchen, to that doorway. I think that is.
So we'll cut back to Gerhart. Gerhart, you're up there and kind of waiting. What is it you were? I didn't catch what you guys had said. Is Gerhart just waiting till someone comes to collect him?
Well, I was Can I hear the creature move again?
No, I don't think. Well, give me another perception check.
Sure.
Okay. I got a SL1.
No.
So it's this maddening feeling of just standing there, and like the stables below you are in pitch blackness now. It's like a well of darkness that just fills up below you. There's the pounding rain above you. It is an interminable waiting to hear any. Your ears are straining to hear anything, and that's when you do see, when something crashes again, that kind of bald-pated man kind of looks over the edge, and I think that if this was the film version, I think that Armin Shimmerman, the guy who plays Quark, is who would be playing this character, but quite thin and dirty, and his teeth are all kind of messed up. And you see him look, and he's moving in a smooth way that just seems unnatural. And you see he sort of crests over the lip of the edge of the apex of the roof.
Okay.
And he's being held aloft by these 4 spindly limbs, and each one of them has a disgusting kind of like oversized human hand with unnaturally long fingers that are sort of splayed around, that are kind of gripping the roof as he raises himself over. And he grins, kind of in a really feral way at you. And you can see his face is covered in gore.
Okay.
So he's got just blood dripping down.
Well, is he within the reach of the full reach of my
He's
flail?
not just yet. Give me 1 second here. I just want to see something. He has in his hand a pretty vicious looking like club with a couple nails stuck in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he grins at you. What is their initiative? What's your initiative? 35?
Mine's 30.
Yours is 30. What's your agility again?
33. 33.
33. Okay. So he looks at you. He says in comment, well, not comment, but in the whatever it is, Reichlander, I guess is the language.
Yeah.
Unaccented. So he is a native. Your friends have left. And then he starts skittering towards you.
Okay.
And we'll find out what happens in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, God.
All right. So mechanically, you will have initiative over this guy as well, too. You are definitely faster than this guy. So though I am doing my narrative flourish there to end it, Gerhart grits his teeth, says a prayer to Sigmar, and we'll see what happens.
I have a response for him, but I'll wait.
Nice. We're missing. That's how we're opening. Awesome. Okay, let me get out of the game here, and then we'll do the outro. Exit game. Get the stop sharing screens. Get the old camera back on. There we go. All right. Ooh. So session 1 in the bag, guys. Pretty exciting. We are playing, incidentally, I think now I can tell you the title of our opening adventure, Night of Blood. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 1 of our ongoing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplaying campaign. Now, before I transition any further, I don't want my players to think that I'm going to leave them without any kind of reward. So here's the first thing, is because this is our first session, because everyone did such a good time, you guys are getting 75 points of XP for role-playing. I'm also going to give you 25 points for discovering uncovering the scene at the inn, and the way you handled the ferry, and the way you handled the stable. So that means tonight, guys, you gain 100 XP.
Wow.
Ooh.
So you are Starting to get that bank going. For those listening at home, as always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. You can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, or you can reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You also may find in the description of this video, there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we're running on the channel. We have paired up with an organization called SOS Children's Villages International, which is a really terrific charity that provides both advocacy and direct benefits to children living in very difficult and challenging circumstances. If you enjoy the session or you enjoy the content on the channel, I just ask that you consider clicking through, learning a little more about Heroes Save Villages. Any money that's donated to them goes directly to assist the people at SOS Children's Villages International in doing the very good work that they do. None of the money goes to the channel. None of the money is eaten up by any other bureaucracy. It all goes directly to them. And you can see on the campaign that there are a couple neat rewards that are available for donors as well. Finally, and certainly not least, I want to thank my players. So guys, Dave, Jeff, Greg, thanks so much for spending Friday night with me in the old world. This was a lot of fun tonight.
Indeed. Thank you for running for us, Kevin.
Yeah, that was fun, Kevin.
So until next time then, folks, thanks so much for watching and happy gaming.